Hi everybody. I received a file called samples, and in that file are the sample files that we're going to use today. Okay, the first thing you need to know basically is Microsoft Word. You need to know how to use Microsoft Word, and you should be familiar, at least have some familiarity with the basic toolbars. Now what I want to have you do to make a small banner that you can use on your website or in your marketing campaigns or whatever is I'm going to give you a sample. Now keep in mind you can adjust this, play with this any way you want to. The colors you can choose are yours. I'm just showing you an example today. So you want to go up to the top where the tab words are and you want to click on insert. You might have to click it twice, left mouse click, and then you want to go down to the third pane over where it says shapes, and you want to click the little right down triangle that opens up the shape box. And for this demonstration I'm going to do the rounded rectangle. You want to left click on that to select it. You want to drag your mouse pointer down to your page. I'm not clicking on anything, I'm just bringing it down. I want to hold down my left mouse key and drag the cursor crosshairs across the page and then release. Okay, one more time. You want to go to insert, shapes, choose your shape. For this example I'm using a rounded rectangle. Left click on it one time, bring your cursor down to your blank page. You're going to hold down your left mouse key and drag it across the page, release. Okay, and you'll notice that you have the little icon, or the little boxes, the designation boxes around. You have a green circle at the top that allows you to rotate the box if you like. Okay, I'm going to make sure I go back so I can make sure that I get it lined up. The little gold piece will help you round the corners. Let's say you wanted a more rounded look. Okay, so you can play around with all these little things, but this is how you basically want to set it up. The next thing I want to do while this is still highlighted, I'm going to go up to text wrapping. Now you'll see that, let me click off of this. Okay, this is not highlighted and there's no formatting tools here. In order to reach the formatting tools, you will need to click on the shape that you've just drawn. Okay, if it's not highlighted, there'll be no tools. To find the tools menu, click on the shape that you've just drawn. You want to go up to the top under drawing tools and format. We want to change the color of this. There's a couple things you can do. If you go to the second box that says shape styles, you'll see there's different colors. Just hovering over them, I'm not clicking, will show you what the box itself looks like. You can also use the down arrow to open the entire selection box and choose different options. Let's try the dark blue with the white around it. Okay, that's one option. The other option you can use is, instead of a pre-formatted option, I clicked off, you see that everything goes away, all the selections. I click back on it, your formatting tools return. I'm going to undo the fill, and you can do a couple other things. You can use absolute fill colors and do a solid fill. You can also change the outline color to whatever color you want. Okay, but what I want to show you that's interesting is how to do something that most people don't realize they can do, and that is to fill with a photo or a picture or an image of some kind. So I'm going to click on the bucket, which is a color bucket, so that gives your inside fill colors. And instead of clicking on a picture, and you can see behind this little selection box in here in the back, you can see it change as I hover. I'm not clicking on anything at this point, but you can choose one of these colors, and this helps you sort of get an idea what it looks like. Okay, you can go down, you can do gradients. This would give you an idea of different gradients that you could use, but I know if something we can do is a little bit more fun, and I'm going to go to picture. I'm going to left click on the picture option, and what will happen is, when my computer catches up, there we go, your Explorer for your web files will open up. Now I've created a folder called webinar files. Okay, Webinar 1 files. We're in Webinar 1 files. This would be your samples file that you downloaded. And in that samples file, you have several pictures. Let's try 016. That's photo 016 in your samples file. Double click on that. One click to choose it, one click to use it. So it's a double click. Okay, and when you do this, it fills in this box for you. And that's cool. How cool is that? Is that cool? Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is creating a small graphic for you. And in this particular graphic, let's find it real quick. Okay, I'm going to do a different fill option. Okay, I'm going to again go in here and use format, the drawing tools. You see there's two up here because I've now filled this with a picture, so it's going to give me two sets of tools. But we're working on format drawing tools. I'm going to go back into the bucket. I'm going to choose the other picture for the first demonstration. That's 044. 044 is the other picture I'm going to use for this demonstration. Okay, there's 044. The next thing I would like to do is choose a picture to insert into this to start working on our header. So I'm going to go again up to the top. I'm going to do insert. I'm going to choose the picture option, and then I'm going to choose my picture from the samples file. And in this case, I'm going to use woman with no money, or woman with money. I'm sorry, woman with money. In your samples file, woman with money. That should now automatically open up for you. If not, go ahead and scroll to it. And one more time, I'm going to go up to the top menu bar. I'm going to click insert, picture, woman with money, and choose insert, or you can double click on it. What happens is you'll see that this photo opens up behind the banner that you've already started to create, and you're going to need to have that on top of that banner in order to use it. So what we want to do, we want to click on it. It's already highlighted, but if for some reason you clicked on it and the highlights went away, you need to click on it one time. Now you'll see your picture tools formatting options. First thing I want you to do is go to just to the right of that and click on text wrapping, and I want you to choose in front of text. Now, a lot of people don't understand that text wrapping is not just for wrapping around text, it is for other applications as well, and that's what I'm going to show you here today. Next thing I want to do is change the size of this a little bit because it's a little bit bigger than what we need, and that looks about right. Okay. The next thing I want to do is change the shape. You notice this has rounded corners, and so I'd like to change the shape of my picture, so I'm going to take the picture shape option. As we're still under picture tools format, our picture is highlighted. I'm going to choose picture shape, and if I'm going too fast for you, don't worry, we'll come back and take some time to do it individually. I'm going to choose a rounded rectangle for my picture shape. Now you don't really see anything here, but if you blow it up, you can see there's a little rounded area here at the top and bottom of her head. It's also here, but you don't really see it on this side. Next thing I want to do is, again in the picture format bar, I want you to go over to the far left, third on the bottom. It says Recolor. Click the little down triangle next to that, to the right of it, and go all the way down and click Set Transparent Color. Okay, don't click anything else, just set transparent color. Your cursor won't change until you move it to the page. Now see, it changes to like a little pencil icon. Once you take it inside and click on the white area of the photo. Now you don't see much because you're on a white page, but watch what happens when I slide it up now into position. I now have a clear background. I've now effectively done what is normally used with a masking tool in something like Photoshop. There is a little bit of a problem. I noticed that my little pig has white and gold eyes that's coming up underneath it. So I'm going to fix that really simple way. I'm going to go back up again to insert. I'm going to choose shape. So I'm just going to get myself a little circle. I'm going to draw a little circle over the top of the pig, just big enough to cover his nose. Okay, move it in position. In fact, that's a little bit big. I think I'll make it a little bit smaller. Okay, I do not want the white line around, but I do want to leave the white color. So I'm going to go up here to the outline, which looks like a little pencil with a line over it. And we're under the drawing tools. You must have the circle highlighted. I'm going to choose the outline and take no outline. Okay, then I'm going to click on the lady's picture one more time. I'm going back up. Now my picture tools are active. I'm going to click on format, text wrapping, and I'm going to click again and bring in front of text. If that does not work, click the Bring to Front button. That will bring the piggy in front of the white circle. The white circle will not be seen. It's just a way to cover up the gold background so the piggy's eyes don't look strange, okay? The next thing I want to do is insert some money because we're doing a money banner. So again, I'm going to go up to the menu bar and I'm going to click on Insert. I'm going to choose Picture, and back into my samples file, I'm going to choose the stock photo of the fistful of money, okay? And these are royalty-free images I've chosen for you, so you're welcome to use them. Again, it's behind the banner, and if you click off where did it go, you don't know. So what you would have to do in that case would be move your banner down to find it, then move your banner back up after you format it. But you want to go to Picture Tools, Format, Text Wrapping, in front of text. And if you get in the habit of doing that immediately after each import or insertion, you'll have it ready to go. And let me bring this over a little bit more and get it back lined up. Okay, now I have the money picture. and it's got the white background. Again, we don't want that, so what I'm going to do is take it down. Before I do that, I'm going to enlarge it a little bit, and I'm actually going to shift it a little bit because I want to put it in there differently. So I'm going to go again to the format, and again, let me show you how I did this. Drag the corner, one of the round corners. You can also, stretch it out if you like, but I'm going to leave it in, the same aspect ratio, and I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger, okay? Now I'm going to do something a little bit different with it, and I'm going to take the green dot, I hover my mouse over that, use the left button, and I'm going to rotate that picture just about 45-degree angle, okay? Now I still have the white there. You see as I move it up, you have the white. I'm going to go again over to the picture tools. I'm going to click on format. I'm going to go to the far left, choose recolor, go all the way back down to the bottom, set transparent color. Okay, and now I'm going to click on the white, and you see that goes away. Now I can highlight this again with the left click. I can bring it up and position it on my banner. And yes, I did want it to stick up above. One of the things you might notice on a few banners these days is that they stick above. And, most people say, oh, you have to have Photoshop to do that. No, you don't. You can do it in Microsoft Word and make a nice looking banner. It looks very professional. Just even at this point, it looks like you had someone that knew what they were doing, not someone like us that's, sort of fudging along with a Microsoft Word option. Please keep in mind that Microsoft Word is not a high-end graphics program. This is just a way for you to use what you already have to get you going with something that's presentable, that gives a good first impression, until you reach the point where you can afford to have a more extensive program, a more complicated program, and one that takes a lot more time to learn. This option that I'm presenting to you tonight is a way for you to go immediately and have some graphics that you've chosen, not something that you have to accept from somebody else. I have included in the 3 webinar files that I asked you to download are a bunch of graphics that you can use for backgrounds and other things, and you can layer them and do different things like this. And of course, you can always go online and find other graphics that you can use. Be sure, though, to get royalty-free images, okay? But anyway, now we're going to put some text in here, and I'm just going to simply again, and if you do Word documents, if you've done any kind of advertising or headlines, you already probably know how to use the Word art tool, but I'm going to do insert, go over to the far, almost to the end, and choose Word art. And I'm just going to pick something. I think I'll go with a white, and I'm going to just type in your text, and you would put in your headline or whatever text it is that you would like to have. For our purposes, I'm going to leave this at Arial Black because it's a nice wide font, but you can choose by using the drop down arrow any kind of font that you like. Okay, I'm going to use the Arial Black. The size at this point doesn't really matter a lot because you're going to resize it, but we're going to start with 36, which is standard. I'm going to tell it okay. Now let me mention, even though this looks black, because I chose a white option, it's going to appear white on the page. So click OK, and you don't see it. But if you notice, don't click your mouse again. If you notice, there's a blue dotted outline here. Blue dotted outline. So if you use that blue dotted outline, leave it there without clicking. Go up to your text wrapping. Again, we're under Word Art Tools format because the word art is still highlighted. Now I'm going to choose text wrapping. I'm going to again put in front of text. And now you have a headline. Okay, and you can stretch this out, position it, do whatever you want. So I think in the sample I put it's your money. And let's say you decide you want to change this headline. You don't like the way it looks or what it says. Again, you're going to click on the headline itself to bring up the formatting tools. Word Art, Format. You're going to go to the far left, Edit Text, and now you can change it to read what you like. It's your money. Okay? And then you choose that, and it comes in. Now, the other thing I wanted to do was move it down a little bit. And I believe in the sample I had yellow and red. So what I want to do, first thing I want to do is, while it's highlighted, I want to right-click this, and I want to copy. Okay, made 2 copies. Did you see that? Let me undo it. I want to right-click, copy. Now you see, notice that was a different option because I had clicked off of it. Click off the graphic and right-click and paste. Now you have 2 copies. Okay, I'm just going to move one out of my way. The first copy I'm going to do in a red, so I'm going to highlight it again. I'm going to go to Word Art, Tools. I'm going to look for my little bucket. I'm going to use the bucket and choose red because red is the color I had in my background on the sample. The next thing I'm going to do is choose the copied version, which is still white. I'm going to do the same thing, Word Art, Tools, Format, look for my little bucket, and instead of red, I'm going to go for yellow. Okay, now this is yellow. Now I'm simply going to highlight it again if it's not already highlighted. Sometimes you'll accidentally click off of it, so it's no big deal. Just click on it again. Bring it up and layer it on top of the red. Now here's one of the things you can do is on your keyboard, use your up, down, left, right mouse keys to get it right where you want it, because it moves just incremental, as you see, as I use each key. You bring it up or down, however you'd like to have it. That looks pretty good. We have our first banner. Now, of course, you can change whatever you want. You can add additional text. If you were so inclined and you wanted some smaller text, maybe you wanted just your name at the bottom or your website address, it's easy enough. You go back up to your menu bar, you click Insert, and this time you want to go over to Text Box. Text Box. And you want to click on that, and it will open up. Please don't use the pre-formatted ones. They're too big. You can either scroll all the way down, see if you see one that'll fit, but I never do. I never have. So I always immediately go to the Draw Text Box option, the very bottom, Draw Text Box. Click on that with your left mouse key. Again, you're going to get a crosshair. Just draw yourself a little box, and you might want to put it in your website, www.yourwebsite.com. And I'm going to click in there next to the text, make it a little bit bigger. Now, because this is highlighted, I need to go up here and go to my home button, and I can increase the size of the font a bit. I can make it bold, just like your normal tools, and I'm going to make a white text. Now, that's going to disappear, so you want to make sure you position this before you take off that outline and the fill color, because otherwise you'll lose it. So I'm going to put this over my banner. I'm going to go again back up to Text Box Tools. I'm going to go to Format. I'm going to find my little bucket. I'm going to put no fill color because we want it to show the background through. Okay. Then right below that, I'm going to choose the little outline icon, and I'm going to put no outline. Now I have it lined up. I can stretch it in, stretch it out. I can put it above, below. Now that I can see the text, I can put it where I want. Okay, so you might want to put it down there. But now we have a sample. What are we going to do with it? Because you can't put this on a website, right? But let me show you quickly. One of the programs I asked you to get was called Jing. Now you may have another screen capture program, but this one is free and it works really well because it leaves a little sunshine on your desk every day. Let me move this down a little bit more so you can see it. A little sunshine on your desk. If you put your mouse cursor over the little sun, and you click the plus sign, it is going to give you this capture box. And basically you want to come just above, make sure you have all your graphics within the top and left hairs of the, orange hairs. You want to hold down your left mouse key just like you did when you drew your box, and bring it over and get just as close as you can. Okay, and you can save. And then I'm going to save this as sample. And save it again. And since I already have one, I'm going to do it that way. And you now have an image that you can use anywhere. Okay, let me pause this, take a break, and catch up with some questions for you. And I will be back shortly to do the next stage of this bit.